blue-white flyers. Basically just a deck full of cheap flying creatures, with our big payoff being Sephara, Sky's Blade here. So tap 4 untapped flying creatures you control and pay a white. You can play this spell without playing its mana cost. Flying, lifelink, other creatures you control have flying and indestructible. Giant card here. We have Empyrean Eagle as well. Other flying creatures you control get +1/+1. And then this was actually a build-around submission asking me to try and leverage a deck with Staggering Insight here. So this is the new kind of Curious Obsession-esque card. Enchanted creatures +1/+1 lifelink. And when it deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. So while this deck doesn't have a ton of protection for the Staggering Insight creature like Mono Blue typically had in the past, because this card draws a card the first time it hits, so long as you get one draw in with it, it replaces itself. And then any draws past that are gravy. So I actually think cards like this are fine to play, even when you don't have a ton of like Spell Pierces and Dive Downs. We have Winged Words here as another source of card advantage, kind of fill your hand back up and recover you from mulligans. And then just a smattering of different 1-mana flying creatures, so we get a bunch of cheap creatures into play ASAP and play the Skyblade out. Let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here with this and see how it goes. Seeing Hilda on Netflix? I don't think so. Yeah, that's true too. It has the upside that you don't have to attack it into potential blockers, which is great. Sure. So this is something that's a little bit awkward because we're trying to support 2 colors. So I have Faerie Miscreant here, or Healer's Hawk now. But if I play one of these on 1, I can't guaranteed have Staggering Insight on 2. I think because I drew the second 1-drop, I do this anyways. And if we draw the land, we play the Staggering Insight. This is going to be a matchup where this card's likely less than stellar. Staggering Insight and enchantments in general are cards that are not great against piles of spot removal. Although they did just take that away, so that bodes well for us. Well, that unfortunately makes this unplayable, yeah? So I tried to do my best to make sure this deck had a coherent game plan outside of the Staggering Insight, because there are going to be matchups like this where it's just a hard sell. There is a chance that this ends up being similar to the Hydra deck we played in the last match, where enchant creatures is just a little bit too brutal for this format with the volume of interaction that it has in it. The drop frames, did Arena lag, or was that me? I don't know if Arena lagged, because I was sending a message to my wife, but I have not dropped any frames. My fiber usually doesn't have weather issues. Hero is actually kind of reassuring here, because Hero means they're slightly less likely to have a sweeper. How's the weather there? We had an ice storm last night. We're currently having 20 plus mile per hour wind gusts. They're supposed to get up to 30 later this afternoon. So, you know, winter in the Midwest. Kept a card on top. It's a little scary.
I've got it.
No blocks. The cost of splashing a color in the historic mono blue deck is pretty real. So we're actually in an okay spot at the moment, depending on what they draw. We're definitely ahead in the race, especially with the Healer Hawks pumping us up a little bit. That's pretty good. We'll see if they want to draw a card, if they just want to use it as fog. They want to draw a card, makes sense. Drawing cards is busted, chat. Do I keep track of the decks that have been played in the queue? You mean for the current stream? I do not. Generally speaking, I just play the queue from the top down, though. So you can assume any decks that, like, are above decks that are currently in the stream title that are in the queue have already been played. Usually I'll make a note if I'm not playing the queue from the top down for some reason. I'm going to play this land out here because they could play a Bellhaunt and make me discard it later. Yeah, Storm Tamer was a card that was... Okay, Ashiok's actually a card that's kind of punishing for playing the land out here, because it can basically downtick to kill one of my things now. I wonder if they will make a 2/3 or if they'll kill something here. Made a 2/3. Do I just attack them? I had them on a 2-turn clock, right? This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I just try and 2-turn clock them. I guess I don't have a 2-turn clock if they bounce the Pegasus, though. But I can, like, always kill this next turn if they do that, right? I'm gonna hold on to the Temple for when they bounce the Pegasus. Oh, chat. I offended a Republican with my comment about them typically not being sympathetic to people who look different from them. All right, I'm gonna teach you a big boy lesson if you're still here, person who's complaining with me on Twitter. Regardless of what you pay lip service to, as long as you're voting for racists and bigots like Donald Trump, it doesn't matter if you personally profess to care about people who look different than you, or believe different than you, or come from different places in life than you. As long as you're voting for people that use their power to try and end those people's existences and deny those people rights, you supporting racists is racism. That's how this works. All right, how does this work? The top pile will be facing. Oh, this interface is actually really clean, huh? All right, that's fine. That's how reality works. Which, it's really weird. It's weird. I feel like it's weird that I have to explain that to them, because Republicans are supposed to be the party of personal accountability, right? That's what I thought. Is that lethal? God, that was a good draw. That's a good one. Did you? Yay! Crappy flying creatures. Yeah, I was, if I'm being honest, I was expecting the interface for that to be awful, because a lot of people have given me 3 cards on that card so far. So now I'm really confused how they could be reading that interface to end up giving me 3 cards. Hey, thanks for the biddies, Dark Rider. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, as much as I hate to cut the build-around card, I just can't leave this card in against Teferi. Like, their deck's got Teferi and a pile of removal in it, so, like, you know. Glass Casket's probably fine here. Taking Hero off the table is pretty good. A couple of Mystical Disputes are probably fine. Think Dispute's probably better than Negate. Holding up 1 mana is a lot easier than holding up 2. I don't really have an easy time defending this card in a matchup like this. The Time Ravelers in my sideboard here are mostly for the control matchups. So I think I leave these out here even though they're okay. And click submit. I'm gonna click submit. Yeah, I think this is fine. They're a deck full of discard spells, so like mulliganing against a deck full of discard spells is not stellar anyways. And like Hawk on 1 into Winged Words on 2 is pretty good. Got a 1-2-3 curve with this hand. So I can continue to work the ladder or watch Jeff since I hit the platinum floor, which means I'm getting 2 extra packs, so yeah. Yeah, I mean like the platinum floor is where you need to get the card, the extra styles anyways, right? I would like to draw 2. Correct, yes. Our average 6 will have 3 spells in it anyways. So my opponent let me untap with my 1-drop, so I played the Winged Words there pre-combat, because I think they were pretty likely to kill my Hawk inside of combat, since they shocked in the land. I would like to just put the most power into play as soon as possible, so I'm going to go Tomik plus Sealer's Hawk here. Yikes. Well, my plan of drawing spells this game has not been stellar. I bottomed the Tomik there because I don't even know what I'm hoping to draw at this point. Probably dead here with 4 lands in hand. The new Temple arts are fantastically well done. The art and Magic in general is just stellar, right? It's a shame. It's a shame none of them have borderless options. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. Let's just plan to draw some spells this game. I had one of those, oh yeah, the art in Magic is really stellar moments the other day, because I was sitting on my couch scrolling through the full spoiler, working on build-around ideas, and Jacob, my 5-year-old, came up, and he just wanted to sit there and look through the artwork with me. And then the next day he came home from school and he was like, Dad, I want to look at the cards on the computer. And I was like, you're great, kid. You're great. What do you see happening to adventure decks now that Theros is out? Will they fade away? No, I think the adventure decks are still very good. I think all the decks that were good before Theros are likely still good after Theros. It's just, especially with the way the ladder tends to work, people want to try new things, right? So I fully expect the ladder to be full of a lot more brews for the next 2 weeks or so. And then after that, the people that are exploring will kind of stop, or they'll play other games or whatever, and then people will settle back into playing the mostly good decks, if that makes sense. So they have not yet put the Theros lands into the game yet. They're supposed to be adding them as a premium option at some point. Yeah, their deck has a lot of Doomblades, but if I draw a creature here, yeah, I get to do this. Faerie Guidemother Sephara. And then they better have a Doomblade here. Having basic lands as premium content is silly. I completely disagree, and I actually want to talk on that point. I've heard other people complain about the land being premium content. I think all the people complaining about it don't get it. If you're someone who enjoys Magic Arena and likes playing Magic Arena on the cheap, optional cosmetics that are not required, got him. Optional cosmetics that are not required to play the game are exactly what you should want Wizards of the Coast to be monetizing. Are they dead? This is lethal, right? All right, sorry. So optional cosmetics that are not required for core gameplay are what we want Wizards to make the bulk of their profit off of. Things like booster packs and monetizing of formats like Brawl behind a paywall, those are things that you should not want them to put behind paywalls. But things that are extras that just look pretty, those things allow the whales to easily pay for everybody else to have a cheaper experience. In an ideal world, the majority of Magic's Arena's income should come from optional cosmetics that are extra. And anybody that's saying otherwise, I think doesn't really understand how these free-to-play games really work. I know, right? Runeterra sounds like they're doing a lot of things that are incredibly smart. Riot is a company that's owned wholly by Tencent, which makes me less than ideal to play it. And their workplace culture has a lot of documented issues, but they're a very good video game company. They're very good at making games, and they're very good at monetizing them in a way that makes them the most money and brings the most people in. Even if I personally don't have an interest in interacting with Runeterra, I hope Runeterra is successful. Competition drives innovation. And a major player like that introducing some real innovation into the marketplace could push Wizards of the Coast to be less greedy. Well, I don't know what's in their hand. Our hand is pretty awful here, but like, apparently their hand is stone cold nothing too. They have Spectral Sailor though, so they're probably gonna pull ahead. This was the best draw in our deck. If we hit double 1-mana flying creatures off this Winged Words, we can play Sephara this turn. Okay, that lets us Sephara next turn. Atris is my pick for best designed card in the set. It is incredibly sweet. Hey, I'm glad you're jamming it. I think I'm just supposed to let these hit me so I can go land Tomik Skyblade next turn. And just like hope Skyblade powers through whatever they put together. They're gonna hit Rally. They hit our Lord. We ain't scared, chat. Oh, is that animation new? I missed that last time we played this. The sword spinning around. I feel like it didn't do that last time. It's been a hot second since we played this card, though. Wow! Thief enables drown. Woof. Woof. They took my angel out back and drowned her in the lock, chat. It's not a good scene. All right, Mystic Dispute sounds great here. They're probably a Thought Erasure deck, too. Counters drown in the lock also. Glass Casket stops some of their cheap threats. I think I'm going to trim Rally. I'm going to trim a couple Loyal Pegasus. I'm going to trim a Skyblade, so probably going to be killing a lot of my stuff. I'm going to trim a Staggering Insight so I don't flood on them too much. Boychin Wonder, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people you can send that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it my way this month and keeping me employed. I'm not bringing in the Devouring Lights because I think that's a little bit too much interaction. Remember, at the core, the deck that we're playing is an aggressive deck, so I don't want to, like, board in a bunch of answers, then, like, not have any pressure. I don't actually think Drown the Lock is that good in this format because, like, the escape cards are real. Maybe I'm just supposed to draw 2 cards there. Yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to draw 2 cards there. Yeah, I'm in for that. Maybe I should have attacked first, because now they can drown this. They're just bouncing it, sure. Wow! Way to mill my scry, Reed. I'm gonna play this tapped. And not, maybe I keep this. Because, like, I have 3 flyers and I have winged words. They're probably gonna have another removal spell, right? I feel like I'm not ready for that yet. Would like to speak to your manager. I have a dispute to file. Let's go. Really glad we bought him the Skyblade. Although, I guess I have 7 lands. We could just hard cast the Skyblade at this point. This is Ritual Assault, right? Could be Disfigure, I suppose. Baited. Yeah, I should have just taken the 1 there. That was a bad block. That was a bad block. Hey, thanks for the 2 months, Gaffer. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Our deck's not really a Bogles deck. We don't really have a lot of protection in it. We're mostly just like a flying aggro deck. Or a little birdie. Drowning in the lock. Alright, I think I gotta casket this Murderous Rider so it doesn't just race me with lifelink. Yeah, there's definitely a way to build just like an 8 Obsession deck. That could definitely be an approach. Feels magic, man. Man, their deck's probably awful against escape cards, huh? Seems real good against our pile of creatures, though. Thanks for the half a year, Greco. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Len Ziller, welcome to Hoglandia. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. All right, maybe we can find a match that's not just a pile of Doomblades. I'd like to see how we do against Esper, or sorry, against Tomik. How did I get Esper from Tomik? It's early, chat. It's early. I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive than Sphinx allows us to be. All right, you know what? You know what my pile of flyers doesn't care about, chat? Cats and ovens. Ain't nobody got time to... Ooh, that one draws a card. Flying Fabled Passage, don't mind if it does. I played Bogles at some point this standard season. Pretty much all of the decks that I play on stream are viewer-submitted decks. If you're interested in submitting your own deck or idea to be played, you can always do it using the form on my website there. Occasionally, I sneak things in myself, but especially if I don't have an event coming up, I largely just play things folks have sent in. Wow, they just have Stone Cold Nothing? That's so good. Lead on Faerie Miscreant here and see what we draw. Do I improve them before I play them, or do I play them as is? I give them a once-over. My email when I accept a deck says I reserve the right to make changes. Generally speaking, I always keep the core idea the same, but usually I massage the details. When do I think we'll update the standard decks on my page? Probably Tuesday. So my plan is to stream all day today, tomorrow, and Monday, and then I'm taking Tuesday off. So, kill you? Kill you? In the meantime, for people that aren't familiar, if you're looking for great decks before I update the dedicated standard deck pages, my favorite videos page here, every single day that I stream, I tag one to three decks, depending on how many we play, that are favorites that like stood out above the rest. So if you're looking for good decks at a glance, the favorites page is a great place to find that. So you're saying that we can cheat a build around if we just add? Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do the legwork to make the core, definitely. That link is broken for you. Oh, it totally is. I recategorized it. Thank you. That is the functional link. It's video's favorite. Usually WordPress forwards things. Weird. At any rate, that's the functional link. So I definitely want these Devout Decrees. What do I want to trim here? It's probably just lag a Sephara and a Staggering Insight, because they're a removal deck again. Thank you for the heads up and letting me know that link was broken. I try not to WotC up my technology if I can avoid doing so. Do I keep the temple? I'm gonna have until I can go 1-2 pump plus play on 3. Anyone have a historic or standard deck with 4 Dream Trawler? I think 4 is probably too many, but the Jeskai Alliance deck that we have coming up next today has 3 Dream Trawlers in it, and I tweeted out an Esper Dream Trawler deck with 3 in it last night. How close is anyone to Shillionaire? I believe Kuntz is getting close. I just play this out as an extra threat here. Yes, unfortunately the YouTube is separate. Am I supposed to chump block this? I might be right to chump block this. This card seems really sweet in Black Devotion. There's a lot of different ways to build Black Devotion. I would not be surprised if an optimal build wants to play a bunch of this card. It's really good with Ayara too. And like this into Gary, like that's a ton of life drain. Like if they Gary next turn, we're taking 4, 6, 10. So I didn't suit up Tomik for more lifelink because I was expecting a removal spell and I wanted to diversify the quality of my threats. If these Black Devotion decks are real with Grey Merchant, the White Devotion aggro deck's gonna be real good. That deck life gains like nobody's business out of range from them. I'm gonna go ahead and trade here. They don't have an oven going. That's an excellent draw. Now I'm gonna suit up Tomik because I want a little bit more lifelink, I think. It's a good draw for next turn. Let's get rid of this. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. They have this active. I made the bad play because I'm dumb. They just get this back. I obviously should have done this. Obviously should have done this. The Jeskai Alliance was a deck I said submitted yesterday. I mean, I can just hard cast that next turn, right? Yeah, this card's real good, and I'm real dumb. Shoulda Devouring Lighted that, very obviously. Yeah, like, the Devotion deck, the Grey Merchant makes you kind of want to be aggressive. So, like, this is a good aggressive card for doing that, too. In addition to playing well with Cat and Ayara and other things. Tank, kill you. Feels Magic Arena, man. Feels Magic Arena, man. Sure. Grr, arg. It was, Beansy. It was great. Alright, Fist Pump didn't get disfigured. Don't rider me, bro. Well, I mean, that's technically a request granted, I guess. No, I'm fine to play good decks on occasion. It's just largely speaking, automatic people don't donate for good decks here. This isn't exactly a spike stream. I donated to play Calyx, my case in point. Eagle sounds great. The eagle has landed. I repeat, the eagle has landed. Correct, yes. People who want to watch spiky decks probably don't end up here anyways. And even people that do end up here could know they can go like watch like Jensen or Croquis or someone like that play it. The eagle here, depending on like what their leftovers are, could mean we have a good shot to race them with the healer's Hawk Life linking. Yeah, Todd, I think I keep this because I can pump my lifelinker. Anderson mostly does Pioneer these days, though. He's good for Pioneer content, though. I'm looking for stuff for that format. He's one of the ones I turn on. Yeah, Jensen's a good one. So we're taking 6 here. So the plan here is to Guidemother. So we lifelink for 4, then we're hitting for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The problem is with the cat bouncing back and forth, I don't have them on a quick clock. Yeah, sure, but like, Bant Adventures is like it's definitely, it's like a new deck. It's, I don't know, like it's definitely a good deck, but like it's just a pile of other cards that are good, right? I'm here casting Loyal Pegasus. We're pretty dead here, right? Feel kind of dead here. Have to block the Deathless Knight, because if we take the 7, we take 8, 9 that way. Hey, can you give me their, can you ban their username, Sunshine, just in case they're not banned already? Thanks, I appreciate you. Disease. Gratis! Thanks for the 3/4 of your support, I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, this looks fine. Fabled Passage is a little bit awkward as one of our lands, but yeah, the deck list review for a quick tip is interesting. I don't know. As far as like content's concerned, I feel like that's really bad content. And other people feel free to watch it, but like I know like as someone who's watched a lot of Todd Anderson's content for Pioneer stuff, I always end up having to turn his stream off when he starts pulling up random deck lists. As someone who looks at a lot of random deck list submissions that people want me to play, there's a lot of nonsense out there. More power to whatever pays the bills, but as far as content's concerned, it's not watchable for me personally. Well, we're getting our third chance against the black deck here. Yeah, I respect the hustle. So as someone who's out here hustling himself, I respect the hustle. I think I actually keep that in case they have another Fenlurker or an Agonizing Remorse here. Although I guess if they Agonizing Remorse and take Executioner, I'm kind of in a bad spot. Alright, so this one should be pretty done. Correct, yeah, it's one of the great things about Twitch. There's one of the great things about content on the internet in 2020, right? There's a lot of different varieties of things. And the ones you enjoy, you can hang out, and the ones you don't, change the channel. Used to love Modern, but having a hard time get back into... So... We're gonna try Modern again for the first time in a long time on this channel. Coming up probably next week. I think I have it on the schedule for Wednesday, if I recall. I haven't fully done next week's schedule, but before the Mox Opal ban, Modern, in my opinion, was the worst it had ever been. It'd been a long time since I enjoyed Modern. This week, Jeff fixes mana bases for $5. Would you believe that a majority of the changes I make to deck lists are... In fact, the only time in recent memory I had to end up refunding someone money for a deck list because they were going to threaten me, it felt like they were going to threaten me with the chargeback, was because someone got really upset that I added 4 lands or like 3 lands to their like 17 or 18 land deck submission. Like, their core idea was really sweet, and we actually ended up having someone else, like, donate for me to play the deck run back again. But it was just, like, just submitted it with way too few mana sources. Welcome back, Andrew. Thanks for sending me your Prime again. Yeah, majority of the changes I make to deck submissions are mana bases, which really isn't that big of a deal. Like, and honestly, early in formats, having to fix lots of mana bases allows me to quickly develop heuristics to, like, know what I'm supposed to be looking for and doing when I'm building my own mana bases. And in formats where I already know what I need to do with mana bases, it's very quick to, like, fix the things people commonly mess up. You can't play sweet cards if your deck is full of lands. That's technically correct. Hey, Rhinograph. Thanks for the entire year of support. Born Healer, thanks for the half a year. Well, our deck doesn't seem to win when we draw 7 lands, chat. It might be a failing on our part. No more creature will see us board. Yeah, pretty much. Yikes. Yikes. When it rains, it pours. Maybe the person that submitted the deck with almost no lands that it had the idea. You can't flood out if you never play lands. Chill Shades Racer, thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. The good news is, if we find Sephara, we can just cast her at this point. We've been playing this deck for about 45 minutes. I have no idea what the record is. I don't keep track. It's not relevant. The Shuffler is so flat, this deck would probably still draw 7 lands with 10 in the deck. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and call it a game on that one. Try and take Keep 3 on the play. think I'm happy with how he sideboarded. Rage gonna land, right? Part of the reason. Man. Feels magic, man. Feels magic, man. Alright, this hand's gonna be great. This Miscreant's gonna draw us a land. We're gonna play the Guidemother. We're gonna play like turn 3. Come on, planes. Come on, planes. Well, we tried. This is why when people come in and ask what our record is, my response is always, it doesn't matter. Because when you lose matches like this, sometimes it's just really far outside of your control, chat. Hey, if they just play like Ayara this turn and we draw planes, we can go Guidemother Skyblade here. Please don't Doomblade me. 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 Why? Well, we're dead. All right, let's try one more with this. Maybe run above average instead of far below average. As my 5-year-old's Cub Scout pack cancels their second event of the year due to extreme weather, I would like to implore all of you watching, regardless of which country you are living in, to please vote for people who will address climate change in this year 2020. Make it one of your top priorities. My children on our planet, thank you. I'm gonna mulligan this. The lands are kind of awkward, and it's only 3 spells anyways. We're pretty likely to have 3 lands, 3 spells on 6. Yeah, this is better. This is like the 4th mono black deck in a row. So based on my very strong amounts of empirical evidence, I can only conclude this format is entirely unbalanced and mono black is 100% of the format. And if you try to tell me otherwise, I would like to challenge you by sticking my fingers in my ears. When is Murderous Rider? Please, ban Murderous Rider, please. Okay, thanks, bye. Yay! They didn't have Doomblade! Woo! No Doomblade! We did it! We did it! We did it! Hooray! Alright, I'm just gonna keep boarding how we've been boarding, which is 3 Decree in, a Sephara out, a Staggering out, a Loyal Pegasus out. Ship it. I agree, Demonger. Shadow Kid, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Honestly, I really hope the mono black decks are playable because the if the white devotion decks give us a real aggressive deck, and if the black devotion decks give us a real mid-range deck while Nissa Ramp still exists, that's a good format. That balance of having those types of things be playable is good. Yes, the Bernie scroller is my personal endorsement. It is not a paid advertisement. Sick. 1/1 flying Fibble D Thip. Don't mind if it does. Think she's too expensive, Branch. Oh no! Oh no! Not my Fibble Thip! You're a monster! Not my gumdrop buttons! Why do you have to be so mean? Why do you have to be so mean? Yes, you could definitely donate for a run back of mono white. Is there a run back of mono? I think there's a run back of mono white already in the queue, actually. There isn't, but there should be. Did I put it in the wrong pile? I'm gonna add that back in right now. Someone definitely sent me 10 bucks for a run back already. Yeah, that's fine. This is release weekend when I'm like live for 9 to 10 hours a day. I tend to miss some donations, sometimes getting added timely. Hey, thanks for the bump it up. Thank you, Scissor. All right, so I think we, I don't know. I think I'm supposed to Staggering Insight and then attack, because I could hit another flyer here. And I think I'd rather play Faerie Guidemother out than Decree this turn. I may or may not be right. Perfect. Super rewarded for our decision here, huh? My Pegasi are the most loyal, chat. I've had a lot of people tell me they've climbed pretty high with mono white. All right, so we're hoping to draw a cheap flying creature here. So now I have to make a decision. Do I attack with everything or do I just play the Skyblade? Playing the Skyblade is pretty bad against a removal spell, so I think I attack with everything. I was hoping to draw a cheap flying creature, so that way I could attack with just this and then still play the Skyblade this turn. But I think because I can't guarantee hitting that, I'm supposed to attack with everything and be aggressive here. Nine, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're dead on board, right? Right? Nice anaphylactic. Yep, it's a good way to clean those out. All right, I think I'm happy to end on a high note there with this deck. This one felt okay. I feel like after playing that, it's possible that taking it in the direction of playing like a Bogle's deck. Is Obsession still legal? It's not, is it? That one was one that rotated, right? And I don't know. It felt okay. Getting picked apart by things was not stellar. I don't know if there's other 2-for-1s we could put in the sideboard. Maybe against control X. Oh, you know what might be good? Oh, did the other Johnny rotate too? Yeah, the other 4-mana Johnny rotated too. Hey, OKC Thunder, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I don't know if I have any things to change after playing through that. We won a couple of games off of Staggering Insight, lifelinking, and drawing cards. We won a couple of games without ever seeing that card and just like beating them down. We lost a number of games where we flooded and died. Honestly, I think the worst thing about this deck is just kind of how awkward the mana is. The fact that we need to play Temple and Fabled Passage to hit our colors consistently is rough when we're trying to curve out super consistently. That's a thought. Yeah, maybe if you're really worried about control, you just like board in a couple of Dream Trawlers because you're going to expect those games to go long anyways. I think that's a fine suggestion. I don't know if it's guaranteed to be good, but I think that's probably something worth trying. But like 2 to 3 in the sideboard. Maybe that's better than Time Raveler, because this is the only matchup that's for. As even though we only have 22 lands, like Winged Words let you see more cards, sometimes these let you see more cards, you can like play this card probably by turn 8 or 9 consistently, and like the control matchups are often going to go that long. All right, what are we doing? Speaking of Dream Trawler, I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while we get set up for the next deck here. And when we get back, we're going to take an updated crack at one of my favorites from the previous standard season and play this Jeskai Alliance deck here featuring 4 copies of Dream Trawler. So back in a hot second. Don't go anywhere, folks. Thanks for hanging out today.